I'm just going to be waiting for my developers to join. I'm going to make sure that I send them the link. And today, what we're going to be talking about is SaaS. What are the components that you need to know, and how you can start building your first SaaS? And again, the idea over here is that you, instead of asking me questions, I'm not the technical guy. I want to make that sure so that we're in the same page. I'm the business guy, but I've came to understand how the things work, and how building a SaaS and where to get started, especially if you want to do things yourself, with also the help of a team member. I do recommend that you do not do this alone. You're not here to learn how to be a developer. You're not here to learn how to build your back end. You're here to learn on how to develop business opportunities while using AI. So again, you need to think about this. You are the brain, you are the strategist. You need to get started with something. However, this other something that you start, I truly believe that needs to get completed by people that do understand how the system works in the back end. So Shahan just joined. Shahan is one of my best developers. I've been working with Shahan for a few years now. And he's going to be answering any of your questions that you have in the chat. You can also ask the question out loud because I want to know what your questions are, and then we are going to try and from there try and direct the conversation. Are we good with this? Do we know what we're doing? Billy's not here. We were supposed to talk about Billy's SaaS so that we were going to go step by step on how we were going to build it. But he's not here. So we're going to give it maybe a few minutes to see if he's going to join. And if he's not going to join, then I'm going to ask you guys to tell me what your SaaS idea is. Before we do that, I know that there's a few people that want to ask questions that are not related to the SaaS uh, building session today. So I want to give space for those people to ask questions before we get into all the technicalities. Do
Yeah,
we
I
have
was
anyone
definitely,
here?
yeah, I was definitely one of them. What's
Yes.
up,
Hi.
man?
Good. How are you doing?
Hey. Yeah, good, good, good. Yeah, the VO3 video you made was really good.
Thank
I
you.
was, I will, at first I was like, he's cracked the consistent characters in VO3 already. And then I
No,
realized
it's
I
just
was like,
prompt
they just look
engineering
really close.
and
Yeah, yeah,
being smart with putting all like zooming in, zooming out, moving things around. It's that, yeah. But yeah,
yeah.
ask away.
It caught me at first. Caught me at first, absolutely. But I mean, like, what kind of prompting were you using? Did you have like a
So,
specific
so this is
dude in
what I
mind?
did for the project. When you try to build things like that, because I'm doing a very cool thing right now that I'm going to be posting soon. Uh, when you try, at least right now, I believe that there's going to be character consistency, and I think I cracked the code on how to get very long videos of people talking without being limited to the 8 seconds. So what I'm currently doing right now is that I'm expanding the scene, right? But the expanded scene, however, on the other hand, it doesn't give you the voice. So what I'm doing is that I'm expanding the entire scene. I'm downloading all those expanded scenes. I'm putting them all up together, and I'm lip syncing them inside synthetic UGC, if it makes any sense.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
no
yeah.
voice.
Okay.
So I can share my screen with you right now. So what's happening is that here's my original scene. Where it is. So share. So here's my original scene. There's something happening here. Boom, boom, boom. Now this is an extended scene, but it has no audio. And it keeps extending, it has no audio. And I can keep extending this. And what I'm doing is that I'm cloning the voice of the first audio, that is in the original audio. I don't know, I don't think that you guys can hear from here, but I'm cloning this voice. Then I'm applying this exact same voice into the rest of the footage and overlaying it.
And
And
so
now
you
it's
had enough.
forever. So this can be like an hour, 5 hours, like whatever you want it to be.
Amazing. Did you have enough source audio to be able to clone the
And it
voice
only needs 10 seconds. So yes.
on synthetic UGC?
No, so to train the audio, first you have to train the audio, right? You train the audio inside
Okay.
11. You get the first 8-second clip, you try and extend the audio a bit, and then you put that audio for 10 seconds inside 11 Labs. You download the script, you generate the audio, you download the script, then you go inside Synthetic UGC, you place the whatever audio. Your audio can be an hour long. If you have that much money to spend on generating, great. It doesn't matter. Because now we can have like a video that can be like anything here, right? It can be 20 seconds long, it can be 40 seconds long, because you keep extending this, correct? So there's not going to be that looping issue. That's one. Now, number two, going back to your question about character consistency, you have to think about two things. First of all, you have to be extremely specific in what they're wearing. So you have to say that they're wearing something plain, something black, something neutral, a shirt, something. You need to be very specific with that description. You have to be very specific with their hairstyle. You have to be very specific with if they're wearing any jewelry. So do you want them to wear jewelry? Probably not, because now like jewelries are not going to be consistent. What's the age? What's the background? You try and limit the background. So, for example, if I go you and I show you the generations back here that I just did for this video that I'm posting, is that I'm trying to limit the generation as much as the background as much as possible so that I can get very similar vibe. It might not be 100%, but it's going to be similar. And then another thing that you need to consider as well is that when you generate all these actors, is oh, I lost my train of thought. What is something else that you need to consider? So yeah, you have yeah. So the prompt now, you have this master prompt. This is the master prompt that you paste every single time. The only thing that's going to be changing is what the character is saying. So this is the exact same master prompt. The only thing you're changing is what the character is saying. So now it's going to give you that consistency. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to be there. But all you have to do is now just play and make sure that if there's something that's inconsistent, you put a B-roll or you move the character
Mm.
around or like you find ways to hide. It's almost like like you're hiding the cut until it gets there. It's going to get there in a few months from now. But yeah, I hope that answers your question regarding that. That's
Well, it
the
was, yeah, I mean, what was weird was that I had first frame already on for some reason on my VO3. So I was
Are you
taking a
sure? Because if I
frame
show
and
you
then
right
using
now,
Topaz to enhance it, and then I could go back in and kind of do that. But
so
I don't know if it's just rolled
this
out
is first
wherever
frame,
my
right? This
VPN
is
is.
first frame, but it doesn't
Mm,
allow you to generate with VO3. It only will allow you to generate with VO2. So make sure that to me at least, it's not allowing me to generate experimental audio with the first frame. Maybe it's something that's not available here in Canada because I'm not using VPN or anything like that. It's only allowing me to generate first and second frame if I wanted to for VO2 and not even the quality version, the fast version.
sure, sure.
So I'm not quite sure.
I will, man.
So I cannot tell you about that because I haven't had a chance to, if it's actually true what you're saying, I haven't had a chance to actually to experiment with it.
Yeah, it gave me a bit of audio, but it was like it was garbled, like it was complete nonsense what he was saying.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just not quite there yet or something. Or yeah, I mean
Maybe.
it's still like a little buggy, right? But yeah. Anyway, I
Yeah.
appreciate it, man. Thanks.
My pleasure. Do you guys have any questions before we start talking about SaaS? And Billy's not here yet, right? So now I need someone to tell me their SaaS idea so that we can kind of go about this lesson, sourcing that topic. Does VO3 affect your synthetic UGC or enhancer? Um, what's the question? Does VO3 affect your synthetic UGC or enhancer? I'm not sure I understand. Okay, so is there anyone that wants to talk about their SaaS, what their SaaS is? If not, I'm just going to give you guys a rundown of what you need to think about when you build a SaaS. Okay, so I'm going to share this little form with you over here. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to tell you that the main structure of what you need or what you should require every time that you build something. This is something that my team is building. Again, the tech stack could be very different for different purposes or for different teams, but this is what is currently working for me. Now, there's a bunch of different technologies. This is called a tech stack. That means that this is exactly what we're using to build our things. The very first thing that you don't see over here, which I should add, which is again a front end, is Cursor. How many of you use Cursor to code? And I cannot see the chat, so just raise your hand or tell me if you're using Cursor to code. Anyone else? If you guys are not using Cursor to code, then there's not even a point. I mean, there's a point of doing this, of course, but I would think that this would be very high level for you if you're not even using Cursor. So Audrey is using Cursor. Great. One of the ways that I like to start to build my app is very simple. So let's say that we want to build something like Apple, correct? We like the visuals, we like how it looks, we like how it feels. The very first thing that you do is that you would go into Cursor or Bolt or Lovable. Do you use any of these platforms, Bolt, Lovable, to build front end? Yes, you do. Kevin, you do, right?
Yeah.
Kevin, what is the difference between Lovable, Bolt, and Cursor? If I can
Uh,
ask you.
are they all the same thing?
They're the same thing. So why would you pay tokens every single time and waste money on tokens when you can pay a monthly subscription of $25 a month to do the exact same thing? Why would you pay $100? Why would you pay $200? If I had to ask you.
I'm paying $20 on Lovable. I don't know.
Well, you're probably not using it enough, right? So it's going to ask you
Probably.
to run out of
Yeah, like,
credit, and then you're not. So usually what
yeah,
happens
yeah.
with the sites is once you run out of credit, you have to top up.
Oh,
The
okay.
difference between Lovable, Cursor, and Bolt is that Bolt and Lovable are they use Claude, they use the exact same tech stack. However, they have some source files, if we want to call them that. So they have a bunch of templates. So they have templates from this site and that site and this landing page and that landing page. So they have a bunch of CSS code. CSS code, if you guys don't know what it is essentially the styling. It's how you want your page to look like, correct? So now, if you want to go into Apple, so I'm going to share my screen with you right now. If you want to go into Apple, you see this landing page, correct? And then you scroll and you're like, oh, I really like, there's some things that you like about it. You like the blue buttons, you like the nav bar, you like the experience, you like when you scroll, you like how it feels and looks. This, for most of the part, is your CSS. So when you want to first design something, as I said in my other calls or on my YouTube video, when you work with AI, you need to have a source file, right? Even, for example, Kevin, when you create your images, you get inspiration from something, correct? You either go into Pinterest, you drop that image into ChatGPT, you tell ChatGPT, I want to create something similar because it's easier. Otherwise, prompt engineering is not going to help you. It's going to be super complicated. And this is the exact same thing that we have to do with our page, right? If you're going to start from scratch, it's going to take you so long, first of all, but also you need to figure out like what's happening and how you're styling things. One thing that I suggest that not a lot of people do, probably no one does, is this workflow that I've worked on when I built my own landing pages, my own SaaS, is that I think about my SaaS, or my landing page, how do I want it to look like and feel like? If I want it to look like and feel like Apple, what I would do is I would need to get the source file, right? How do I get the source file? How would you get it, Zach?
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
So
Justin,
we use your tool.
yes, give me a second. Justin, how do you think that I can copy? How can I get the source file so I can tell Cursor to build something like this?
uh, ask for the prompt.
A prompt.
Take a picture of the
Hmm.
of the layout and then post it into either ChatGPT or something and ask what prompt was used to build this.
Okay. Why that is inefficient? Two things. Because why would you need a prompt? Why would you need a screenshot when you can get the code? Cursor reads code.
Inspect the page.
Inspect the page, but how do you get the HTML? It's a bit complicated, right? And when you talk about coding now, there's CSS, there's HTML, there's JavaScript, there's a bunch of things, and you need all those things all together. How do you download that? That's that you need. It's going to take you forever if you want to do it manually. And also, pages sometimes they do not allow you to do it manually. There's things that are hidden inside inspect. So what we do is that we go over to GitHub, and then we search for this repo over here that's called WebTwin that I've built for you guys. So what this does is that this allows you to extract any website in the world and download it locally into your computer. It's free, like you don't have to, literally all you have to do is download. And if you do not know how to get started with coding, it's very simple. How many of you have seen a GitHub page before? How many of you are like, how the hell do I get started? How the hell do I install these things? You're like super confused. Luca, you know, right? Or you're the
Yeah,
expert,
it's
or
pretty. No, I'm not an expert. It's
okay,
definitely hard sometimes
it's
to figure
hard.
out, but
So
sometimes I
why?
make it work.
Okay, we live in 2025, and we have this app that's called Cursor. Why do we have to think about how to do this when Cursor can do it for us? So what you do is that you would download or you would get this repo over here, and we're going to go open up Cursor. So Cursor, this is Cursor. I'm going to share my screen with you. Let me make sure that this is a blank page. So this is Cursor. It's very simple. All I have to do is go over here, clone repo, paste the repo, hit enter, and I have to save this folder into my computer. So I'm saving it in my computer.
Answer. We're not seeing your screen.
You're not seeing my screen? Why?
I have no idea.
Okay,
I see it.
Yeah.
do you see it now?
There we go.
Did you guys see what I did, or do I have to redo it?
Do it
Let's redo
again,
it.
please.
Okay, let's do it again. So you open up Cursor, you click clone repo over here. You get any repo in the world, just a link. That's the link. You paste the link in the search bar. And now you have to select your destination. You select your destination over here. And then it says, would you like to open the cloned repository? Open. Now it opens. So now all you have to do is please read the README. So README is essentially this page over here that explains what the project is. For example, as part of my README, I literally told it the steps. I was like, okay, you need to do this. I said that if students open this up inside Cursor, this is how you need to install it, right? So everything, how to set it up. So it's easy friendly. All you have to do is click a button. Now we go back into Cursor and then we ask Cursor, please read the README and tell me what this project is about. It's going to read it. Let me understand. So now it's going, it's like, hey, here the core purpose is it allows you to do this, to do that, to the main use case. It's using Python, Chrome, blah, 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 blah. Now I can be like, can you please install it for me? Can you please install it for me in my computer? I'm not going to do it because I already have it installed. Hopefully I haven't deleted it. And what's going to do is it's going to read everything and it's going to start installing it for you. Muting. So this is all you have to do with any single project. And this is going to do the thing for you. I'm not going to run this entire thing. So for every single project, let's say there's an open source project that you want to install and you're like, oh, I'm stuck. What the hell do I do? That's all you do. You either download the README from the GitHub and you paste it into Cursor and tell Cursor to read this for me and install it for me, or you just copy the link, paste it over into Cursor and tell Cursor to install it for you, and all you have to do is troubleshoot. Okay? Are we clear with that? So that's the first step. The first step is that we essentially are downloading our project. Now, let me see if I have the project downloaded over here, because I want to run it so I can show you guys what it does. And hopefully I didn't delete it. Where is it? So it should be website extractor. Now, bear with me because this website extractors, I have 10,000 files. So this is what it's going to look like. So all I have to do now is I'm going to have to drag and drop my file, and I really hope that this is the website extractor that works. It's going to open up for me, and then I'm going to say, please run the server. If you want to run something, if you build something into Cursor, you have to say, please run the server. You hit enter, and hopefully this is going to be successful. I haven't tested this yet. And it's running on the server, it's debugging, it's active. Let's see if it's actually going to work. Okay, great. So it's working. Now, is it actually going to download anything? So it opened up this thing, code, right? And this is the website extractor that you're going to get. I don't think that this is the correct one, by the way. So I don't think that this is going to work. But I'm going to try, and then we're going to try another project. All you have to do then is click Apple, add your website, apple.com, and click extract website. It's going to start extracting the assets. So it's going to start downloading everything, and it's going to give you a file for you to download and open in your computer. I have this file already downloaded because I did it before. I'm going to show you what the file looks like. So what it's currently doing, Justin, right now, instead of taking a screenshot, is just extracting all the code, because Cursor works with code. Cursor needs to understand code. Why have a screenshot, right? So this is what it's currently doing. It's getting all the images. It's getting all the videos inside. It's getting all the buttons. It's getting like everything in the UI. And this is taking a bit of time. And what's happening over here is that, so you can see, so it's adding images, Hero iPad mini, Hero iPhone, Hero this. So this is your terminal. It's downloading all these things, right? You see like Apple Watch, downloading like iPad Promo, Mac Studio, whatever, like everything that's inside that landing page. Boom, so it's downloaded. So this is what it shows. Great, this was successful. Click here to download. Now I'm going to share my entire screen with you, my desktop. So what happens right now is that you have this apple.com, right? And here is the Apple website. So you can open it, you can click the index. Here's your Apple website running locally on your computer. Not only that, but now you can have all the fonts of Apple. You can have all the images inside that Apple is using for this, like whatever it is. It's like there's a bunch, like everything. There's nothing it doesn't have here. So now what do you do? Now you're ready to start your landing page, to start your project, correct? So you go like, okay, you need to create a folder. You create a folder, you can call this folder Serious New Sites. And then you rename this to Apple. Now you drag this Apple folder that you downloaded inside Serious New Site, correct? And the next thing you're going to do, I'm going to close Cursor. I'm going to open it up again. There we go. We're going to drag over my Serious New Site folder into Cursor, and we're going to tell Cursor, please build me a simple landing page. But make sure that you are sourcing the CSS style, HTML, buttons, fonts from the Apple folder that you have access to inside this project. Now, let's see what agent are we using over here. Claude, okay, I haven't tried this yet. So now we're using Claude Opus 4. This should be, I have to enable max mode. Okay, whatever it is. Great. So now we hit enter. This is the first, we're high demand. Okay, we need to use Sonnet 4 then. Try again. So now, hey, the user wants me to build a simple landing page. I'll help you build a sample using the resources from Apple folder. Let me first explore what the project structure looks inside. So it's going to go to the Apple folder. It's going to search everything that's inside the Apple folder, all the CSS, all the HTML. It's going to bring in, it's going to analyze what it looks like, and it's going to replicate it for me. And it's going to create components for me that look like that. Now, you might think that this is done. It's not that easy, because like you have to go back and forth, troubleshoot it, be like, oh, I don't like this button, make sure that you da. But this is the process, right? So it's looking for items, it's looking Apple inside components. So now it says, now let me examine some key components to understand how to structure the landing page. Let me start. I didn't give it any information. I just said, please build me a simple landing page. I didn't say what the landing page is. What's my bad, but this is just to show you what the thing does. Let me also examine all the buttons and see how the buttons are structured. So this is how you start building your very first landing page. Forget Bolt, do not forget them. Start with that because that's how I started. And I was very hesitant to use Cursor because to me it was, oh, very scary until I started using it, building it, and realizing that I was spending like $500 a month using Bolt because my project was so heavy, right? And now I'm spending $25, right? And unless there's like limits, and then I have to top up what I'm gonna be spending a month like maybe $100, and I'm building a SaaS that's generating me 20,000 a month. Take my money, right? So great. So now it's saying perfect. Now I have comprehensive understanding of the Apple's available. Let me create a beautiful landing page using these Apple resources. I'll build a modern, clean design that follows Apple's design principles. Now it's designing an index HTML. So now it's designing our very first page, right? So it's over here. Boom. We created that. Now I don't know of the result. I don't know how close it's going to be. If it's going to be good. Um, there you go, you guys. This is what it created. Now, again, there's like things that you have to fix, like doesn't look right, but it got the idea. Like it even has the Apple TV and like it has things like that. Now you have to go and this is where you start working. It did the work for you. Now you have to go and refine everything. Good. This is the very first step. If you're not able to do this first step, you're not going to be able to do anything else, which I also, it's not that I do. This is all I do. So just so you to understand what I do. This is what I do. So I build the front end. I build all the experience. I build where the users need to go, what the users need to do. So I'll give you an example of my enhancer project so you can see what I mean by that. So I have my enhancer project right here, and this is called I think this should be. And then I have my synthetic, and I have all my SaaS is inside here. And then I can say run this project, run this, run the server. And then I make sure that I push everything to GitHub from here. I deploy everything from here. So I just tell it, please deploy it into Netlify. It does it for me. I don't have to do anything. I get a link and it's done. So let's see what's going to happen over here. It's going to run the server. And what I do is I make sure, because I'm not a product designer, but I understand product, I understand user experience. I know what's beautiful. I know what sticks. So this is my responsibility. My responsibility in building my SaaS is that I give my developers, which are phenomenal at fixing the back end, at like putting all the things together. I save them from the time of building the front end, which I think that the front end is one of the most important things to me. To other people, maybe not. To me, it's very important. If I delegated this task to my developers, they would never get my vision. They now know exactly what I want. I don't have to tell them anything. All I have to tell them is just make this functional. Okay, so I help you start the server. Let me first check the project structure to understand the type of application. Okay. It should just start it immediately, but let's see. So now it says it's a React TypeScript project. Okay, now it's running the dep. Boom. So this is my enhancer site, right? So I built this. I spend like a week or two to generate all the images. Everything's generated to generate all the assets, all the components, and then I can go. And this is locally here. So now what I can do, for example, just so you can see how that works, can go here and be like, please change the landing page hero section and make it more modern. Let's see what it's going to do. Like, I don't know what it's going to do, but essentially, this was when I released the beta like 2 months ago, a month and a half ago. But everything that's here, everything is done by me. Nothing, developers are not involved at all. All I do is I give this code that you're seeing on my left to my developers, so that my developers can debug, they can see what's going on, because of course AI is not perfect. They need to understand the structure. They need to optimize things. They need to link things together. So when people click get the beta access, now when they enter an invite code, the invite code works. So if we go back to, so now this is helping to modernize the hero page. This is the front end. And this is, again, as you see here, it's a Vite React TypeScript project. So This is what we're using for our front end. So there it is. So we're using with JavaScript. This is the front end. The back end, we're using Node.js. Think about the back end as like the brain. What is this button going to do? Sure. How is this going to link to things? How is this thing going to function? How are my customers going to be paying? So everything, how do I manage different inquiries? Where are the API calls that are happening? Everything happens in your back end. Then you have a database. The database that we use is called MongoDB. This is where everything is stored. This is where your information is stored. This is where I know what you generated. This is what I know how many tokens you used. This is what I know what emails you used. This is where I can give you free trial. This is where I can give you free access. What's happening currently is that everyone that's getting free access through the course, they're getting logged out every 5 seconds. So we need to figure out in the backend why people that are getting access for free into Enhancer are getting logged out. So we don't know what the issue is. That could be an issue in the back end. It can be it is an issue in the back end. It could be an issue in the authentication, the Firebase. It's something that we need to understand what's happening, because this is only happening to people that we are giving access manually. Then we have authentication. So whenever you sign up, let's say you're using Google, you have to authenticate, right? So in this case you use Firebase. This is still working on the landing page, so we're going to let it do its thing. Then for storage, you can either use Shehan, can you help me remember what we were using before? Was it Cloudinary? Before, for storage, we were using Cloudinary, which is a paid service. And then after, because things got a bit bigger, and we thought that it would be better that we're using AWS S3 plus CloudFront. These things, again, even me, it's not that I understand them to the fullest potential. But it's storage systems. The AWS S3 allows you to store all your data and allows you to load images faster, if I'm not mistaken. Then we're hosting in Vercel. Now you can also host, and this can be free of charge. My website is free of charge right now. My main website, sirabarati.com, inside Netlify. Netlify. So do you guys know what Netlify is? Essentially hosts any of your pages that you build, and if it has up to 30 gigabytes of bandwidth, then it's free. If it's more than 30, you have to pay like $10 a month, like nothing. But me currently right now for that website, I'm not paying anything. So I host most of the things that I send you, or like things that I built in Netlify. They are small projects for free, and I can connect them to my domain if I wanted to. Then we have the webhooks that we use AWS Lambda. Then we have, of course, payments that we use Stripe. Then we can use ComfyUI in Docker or in a ROM pod. Now this is, I don't know what's happening over here. This thing is super slow. It doesn't usually take that long. But let me, what was I going to do? So so this would be the very simple structure for your site. Now, don't think about this one here, which is the API backend, because this is only for those who want to build anything with ComfyUI. Okay, so now this might be too technical, so I want you guys to ask your questions. If you have any questions in particular for any of these things, so I can explain and go into more detail, or if you have a project idea, then we can think about how and what we can use to structure your project idea. Meanwhile, my devs are in the call. Billy,
Eyebrows looking good today, Serial. I know
look,
that's
Billy.
right.
No, you lost the chance.
Lost what chance to talk about your eyebrows? I ain't never had eyebrows like this. If only I could
We're
grow a
gonna talk
mustache
about your
like Zach.
SaaS. This is the second
Zach looked like a
you're
state
late.
trooper over there with this button-up shirt. Is he on Dancing with the Stars, or is he learning how to build a SaaS?
Wait. Slow down. Let's slow down. My developers are going to be, what the hell is happening? So let's be
That's
very
good.
mindful.
We
Now,
want
let's
to.
be mindful. They need to understand. Let's be
Oh, okay. Let me
slow.
slow down. Let me deepen my voice. Hello, developers, great developers of Serial Barati. It's my
Yeah.
pleasure to see you today.
Shahan. Shahan is in the meeting. Shahan is a phenomenal dev. So
Hello, Shahan.
So if we have any
Hello.
questions, yes, there you go. There's Shahan. We can ask Shahan in the chat. I would like questions to go in the chat. Also, you ask it out loud to me, but also I'd like Shahan to get the time to write everything, so everything is super clear, so there is no miscommunication. So what I said in the beginning is that you ask the questions to me, but also we can ask the questions in the chat, and Shahan can reply in the chat if it's easier for him, or also he can reply out loud. Now, what I was gonna do is that where ideally we're talking about your SaaS, Billy. So what is your SaaS, and what are some of the technologies that my dev would recommend for you to get started? What is your SaaS?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Sirio, for the opportunity. I also want to suggest, as the host, if you decide to turn on closed captioning, then Shahan can pick his native language and it'll translate for him. So it may be easier for him to
Where is
catch
it?
on too.
I think the
But
name is great, but where is it? Where is this?
it should be right at the bottom. It should say closed captioning, or it should be in your host settings.
Transcript?
And then it'll allow people to choose their caption language, and Zoom will do the heavy lifting.
I don't know how to do that. So
Oh, well, my closed captions are on already. So, Shahan, if you want to try that out, you should check it out. It's really powerful. But I digress. So, I just wrote my third book, and I
okay,
did this third
congrats.
book
And
in
we
three
have it.
months.
We've asked you to drop your book so we can support you, and then we can read your work, but you
I
don't want to do
will.
that.
I will. That's not necessarily why I'm telling you. The reason I'm telling you is because for the last 10 years, I've helped people write all kinds of books. I've helped write. Look, can you tell I write books all the time? I've, I've helped write books that have become New York Times bestsellers, Amazon bestsellers. I've even helped write books that have helped people make $20,000, $30,000 in their private communities.
Okay.
And so over this process, over this time, I've developed some processes that I picked up from all these different places that
Mhm.
help write books faster. So the challenge I gave myself is writing a book a month every month. And I've done that for the last 3 months. And so,
Great.
what I would like to do now is come up with a SaaS that
Mhm.
allows people to take their book ideas, their transcripts, their writings, their videos, have those things transcribed and organized, utilizing the proprietary process I utilize to finish books so quickly.
Okay.
And then it takes those
API.
ideas, organizes them into book chapters, writes the chapter synopsis, all of the bullets for each of those
Okay.
chapters, and
Got
allows
it.
them to help them do
Got
the
it.
chat.
Okay.
So that's the first part of your question. What would the SaaS look like? The
Okay.
second thing, which is your other question, what technologies might be included?
Okay.
So clearly, we would need quite a bit of token usage for
Wait.
writing in
Wait.
ChatGPT. Are you telling
Wait.
me to wait? Okay.
Yes, wait. So first of all, we want to build an AI SaaS that is going to be a book writer. So means that
Sure.
users will upload their audio. Will they upload an audio? Will they upload a transcript? Like, what is it that they're, what's the input?
So this is why I was going to go into the technology. What I would like to happen is it has all of those things. I'd like for you to be able to upload a video that you did,
There it
Siri to
is.
upload his Zoom meeting,
Zoom meeting.
also any actual writing. I want it to be an omni-channel intake, meaning that
Writing,
however you decide.
wait, writings, handwriting or writings,
Oh,
uh,
typed. I would prefer typed. I guess we could do some visual, but I think that would be too expensive. So either written or audio or video.
thing or RC. I don't remember what that is. OCR. Yes. Then that's it. So these are the inputs. So we have videos, we have Zoom meetings, writings. Okay, and okay, we'll remove the scanned version. Okay. So this is what they're going to do, and essentially, well, we need to transcribe everything. Okay. What else?
Mhm. Then it would probably be
Okay.
an agentic process. only because as I've started to kind of do it for myself, it has required you to organize, come up with the chapters, and very often when you write, you want it to edit or review, and those things can use a lot of tokens and run chats out pretty quickly. So
Yeah.
maybe one agent that takes your information and organizes it into
When we
a
say agents, we're
book.
just talking about Chat GPT or any other LLMs.
Right, but one concept that takes all of the transcriptions and then organizes it into the book proposal, which would have all of your
Yeah.
chapters and everything. But then if somebody wants it to just go ahead and help it write, then it would need agents to write, and that same agent that organized it would need to review the chapter to make sure
Yeah.
that
It's just
it
a bunch of Chat GPTs in there.
sure. For ChatGPT and Claude, I would use ChatGPT for the
Claude.
organization, Claude for the writing.
Sure. I'm not quite sure if you can train custom GPT on Claude, but that's okay. Then what do we
Well,
need
when you put NAN, I was thinking like using one of the agents that use chat. So having one agent that does that and then talk to the other ones, right? And so those are my thoughts. But the GPT might work well too.
Okay. Then we need token extraction, token costs plus extractions. And then you want this to be monthly subscription. Then you need to have, what data do you want to collect? So like what, like this is like what data do you want to collect from them, from your customer?
Definitely wants their
So,
name.
well, not only that, so you need all their, you would ideally need all their writing. So all their writing,
Sure,
if you don't have
of
that, then
course.
all their writing, that's the data that I'm talking about, not the actual data
Oh,
that,
okay, yeah. So we would need their writing, the audio, the transcripts, their preferences. I'd prefer to have some preset prompts that you can just click a button to activate. So, is this documentary style? Is it fiction? Is it nonfiction? Is it self-help? Is it
got it,
how-tos?
got it. So, okay, they're writing their audio, their transcripts. So okay, then you're authenticating this with Google. You want Apple Pay, Apple, I
Oh,
guess,
for sure, Google and Apple.
Google.
And because the process could be a
Do
little lengthy, I'd
you
love to.
need
Okay.
affiliate?
Oh, for sure. We love an affiliate.
Affiliate.
Don't be
Then,
laughing at me, Angel.
and we're going through Stripe. Do you accept crypto?
Oh, we absolutely accept crypto.
Crypto King.
Also, like I kind of like the concept of lemon squeezy. Have you or your devs or anyone in the meeting utilized it long term or at scale?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I use lemon squeezy.
Who said that?
Bhupinder.
Oh, what did you think?
It's pretty cool actually. It's alternative of Stripe, and Stripe bought it a few, I think, months ago. So
Oh,
it's very nice.
wow.
The only thing is it charges a high percentage commission for your payments. So
Oh, but now that Stripe bought it, it'll come right on down. Okay, thank you.
yeah. Also,
A
you don't
fellow
need to
BS.
register a business for lemon squeezy. That's the advantage. It's payments, so you don't need to pay the VAT, and you also you don't need to have necessarily a business to open an account with lemon squeezy. So they take care of all your taxes and situations.
It's powerful.
Yeah,
Perfect.
happy
Okay,
to
so now that we
talk
have
about.
your situation, Billy, Shahan, what would you suggest in terms of what we have over here? Shahan, you can see the screen, right? So we have an AI set that is going to be a book writer. In this case, we need a bunch of GPTs. Another thing that we need would be an N8N automation that you need to get the APIs for so that you can run an agentic process. How you're going to be building this, I mean, this is something that needs to be figured out down the way. As you're saying, maybe you want to train a custom GPT first, and then you want this custom GPT to talk to Claude. So all these things need to be figured out before the SaaS. Before you build the SaaS.
Right.
So yeah, that's the features part. And usually
I
what
do want to throw this in, Serial. I know it's a little bit of a wrench, but you let me know what I've learned about these processes because they're words. It takes a little bit longer to process through the RAG process, in which case I'd like to also add some SMS marketing tools in. The concept is that you'd be able to sign in with your phone number and then request the writing because the writing can take a while and it can take a while to cool down and start back up again. I'd love to be able to let you know via text message when it's over, or if there's a question the agent needs an
okay.
answer to just text you.
Okay, so this, I'm not gonna lie, this entire SaaS, it's not easy. This
I
is not,
know.
it's like this is very difficult. Because it has a bunch of features and there's a bunch of automations that are happening in your back end, and also you want to make sure if you're going to do email marketing, for example, right now I don't do any email marketing for Enhancer, and what I need to make sure right now is that all my inputs, everyone that's signing in, gets some sort of a welcome flow, correct? And in this case, we need to have that setting set up in the backend. But I'm gonna go back to Shehan. I don't know if Shehan wrote anything in the
Salut,
chat.
il reste que vous, je pense, Jean-Baptiste. Il reste.
Okay, sorry about that. So Shehan, what do you think that the structure in the back end, yes, cool, like we know the GPTs, but what do you think in terms of, is this exact same structure going to apply, meaning that we're going to be building the front end front end with Vite, then we're going to be using Node.js and MongoDB and Firebase and AWS. What are some things that would be need to be different in this case?
In that case, I think we need some Python backend for that because we can handle easily LLMS models using the Python. So
So
we have to.
what do we need in the backend?
He said
I think
Python.
Python backend.
Python backend. Do you think that
Yeah,
you need Python backend, or would you need just the N8N automations in this case? I know that you might not be as familiar with the N8N, but probably right. What would Python do in this case?
because previously I had deal with the Python backend within the LLMS, so it's easier than the doing with the
Automation.
Node.js. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What else? Everything else is the same in terms of like hosting and deployment, and probably this is gonna not only cost a lot in tokens, that's a different story, but in terms of hosting and in terms of storage, is this gonna be the same exact framework, or would we have to use any other AWS services?
Yeah, we can use the same sizes for rest of things.
Okay. And what about the scalability here? Because something that we realized is that something that's very important that you guys need to keep in mind is last month for hosting, we paid around 500 US dollars to host the site only because the sizes of our images were huge. So then we went ahead and optimized everything, and now we're just paying like 20 bucks. So
Yeah,
from
but like the words being, that's what I was concerned about. Words being, I figure they would be less to
yes,
host, not more. But
yes.
then
So
when you're talking about thousands of them, the token
exactly.
cost would probably be higher, but the storage would probably
Yeah,
be lower, so it'll
let me
trade
just
off.
ask Shahan about this. So now, Shahan, let's say that we have like a page, we have a book with like thousands of pages and thousands of words. Would that impact the cost of our hosting in any way, shape, or form, or not really? Because it's like user downloads and whatever it is, like uploads and downloads for each page. So, for example, we had like 100,000 or something users, and maybe I can pull this up to show you guys the activity on the pages. Um, Maybe I can do this right now. Let me just see if I can sign up into Vercel. But in this case, Shahan, what do you think? What's gonna be the cost? Are like this generation tokens going to affect the cost of the hosting? Usage.
I think we can use the AWS S3 for that. So
Okay.
like we previously reduced cost for from $400 to $20. So like
Yeah.
that, we can apply that mechanism to this approach using CloudFront and AWS S3 with it. So it
Yeah, got
doesn't
it.
affect the speed as well.
where do I find because I wanted to show everyone here the usage. Where was the usage before here? That was all those graphs. Activity was.
Just so you know, Syria, we're still looking at the
I know.
writing you were doing. Oh, okay,
I know
just
exactly.
making
I'm just
sure.
trying to show you guys the usage of the sites. Oh, there we go. I think this is it. So essentially what happens over here, if you can see, is there any information I don't want to share here with you first? Let me just make sure that there's nothing, that everything's safe. Okay, I think that we're good. So essentially this is where I host things, and now this thing's changed. For example, May 4th, there was 700, this month there was 300 gigabytes downloaded from Enhancer. The landing page was 100 gigabytes. The client page was 30 gigabytes. Then the production UGC, synthetic UGC, was 100 gigabytes. Last month, this was like terabytes, right? Because every time that a user goes in, the data still needs to be downloaded in their browser. So it's not like something that I learned is that it's not like, oh, well, I'm hosting once. Every single time that a user goes into your page, those things need to download. So now that's why it can become very expensive very quickly if you are not actually keeping track of what's happening, and if you're using a lot of images. And this was my fault in this case, because I was using a bunch of things that I was not aware that we needed to optimize for the sake of, okay, I need the images to look very crisp, but that crisp was costing me a lot. For every free user that will go into the site, I was paying for them. Oh, sorry, I think that might give me 1 second over here. I think that this might end.
I've never seen you walk, Syria. You have a very powerful walk.
Oh no, I don't have a powerful walker.
For sure. We always see your head when you're walking around the city, but you have a very powerful stride. It's the way you use your elbows, to be honest.
Didn't have any batteries.
I bet Kevin Charles has a really powerful walk too. After seeing his video on Color Me Static, I was like, wow, this is pretty serious.
Cool.
He probably
I
walks
think
like
that
a
I'm back.
boss. Oh, welcome back. We missed you.
Wow,
Okay,
bro.
cool. So, thank you. Now, are there any questions that you might have, Billy, for this process? And then I would just want to take questions from other people that might not be as familiar as you are in the space.
Absolutely. The only other thing is I tried to do some of these things on my own using some of the things I've learned. I have three things to say. The first one is I tried to do some of this, but what I learned is like the YouTube transcoder, something or transcriber, something happened with the YouTube, the way they encode the videos, that most of the transcribers don't work anymore. Like all the ones that were on Hugging Face, they're all broken. So that was a concern that I had. Like if I wanted to go back and use other YouTube videos to bring them in, that might be difficult. The second thing is when you're writing,
You used
well,
other
something that's
APIs?
been,
Have you used
sir,
other APIs? Have you used other APIs?
I tried a ton of them. None of them were working, and all of them said that they were
Where?
broken. It's been
From
a
where?
while since I've been able to see one that was working. The
From
second
where?
thing is, whenever you're writing, one of the most important aspects is that you have to ensure that you produce a pretty strong sample yourself of your own writing. And so, training those multiple models on each person's writing, so it's it is taking their voice into consideration before it starts to produce is something to be considered. So I look at the intake form process being a little bit like when you sign up, asking them for a writing sample of some sort. It can be optional because the other option we have is because we're requiring raw writing, which is just any kind of writing you provide, which is transcripts or audio, that I can tell it to learn their voice from whatever the audio or video is. So that's another thing, but that's part of the intake process, right? I
Yeah.
need you to sign up. I need the
So I'm gonna.
information you want. I need a description of what you're trying to write, and then I need a sample of your writing so that I can understand how you're thinking about it. Which is easier done when it's an individual, but when you start to make it a SaaS, that's kind of why I'm like asking the big dogs. You're the big dogs, by the way, Serial. You and Zach Arian, also known as the European Great Gatsby. So
Oh,
what we're doing, what we're doing, These are the thoughts that I have. And then
Well,
thirdly,
David,
like, how much am I charging you for this? Like, if you want to write one book, why would you subscribe monthly? So my consideration is also just a one-stop shop for any writing that you might need, be
Okay,
that
okay, okay.
blogs,
Let's let
captions,
let's let's
etc.
let's slow down. Let's slow down. There's a lot of
Okay.
features. Well, this is not going to work if you just want to do it like this. It needs to start with very like one simple feature. It needs to have an MVP, and you need to prove a concept that something works. If you want to just be
Yes,
doing
sir.
all these things at the same time, it's not going to work. So now I just want to give you some sort of solution today. What's the easiest
Please.
thing that you can do, you can implement today? Not, oh, I want to do this, I want to transcribe it. Those are problems for tomorrow, today. What is something that you can do that you can start right now, super simple, that can work?
Well, in your professional opinion, what would you say that is? Knowing what is required on the
Well,
back
first
end
of
and user
all,
time.
the easiest thing that you can do before thinking about how to actually bring this into live, like not bring this into live, but actually have this ready to ship, is build your user experience, build your landing page, and decide
Oh,
what
okay.
is your one feature that you want to focus on, one feature only. It can be
Okay.
anything like rewriting things that they, let's say that they want to rewrite in your voice. Maybe you have what I'm thinking. Maybe you have like all these predetermined styles, your voice, or maybe you have I don't know, like Steve Jobs or this or that or whatever. And now all they're doing is that they're pasting their text, and it's going to help them rewrite it in a particular language. This is the easiest thing that you can do to just get something going. Now, I don't know how to like again because I'm not in your business, but we need to think about features like that. Features that are super simple, super easy to implement so that you can have a product that you can log in, you can try it out, you can test it out, you can see how things are being extracted, you can see the costs. Because now you're not going to know the costs. I only started to know my true costs after I shipped one feature. So you need to start shipping one feature and then keep adding all those features as it goes, and then never think about it as shipping a final product. It's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of money. What I understand right now, this is a huge thing. This is not just like games with me creating enhancer and stuff like that. No, this is like a full-on project. It's like you're going after Grammarly type of thing, right? So this
I would say less Grammarly, more. It would
less
be more along the
Grammarly,
lines of.
but still, meaning that this requires at least like four devs or five devs working on this full time.
Okay,
Well,
I
what do
see
you
that what
think,
you're
Shehan?
saying.
This is just me saying this, but
Yeah.
Shehan, what do you think? Like this scope, this entire scope that Billy described, how many people would you need and what type of people would you need in the event that these people are using AI? Again, they have to be AI native. You're not hiring anyone that doesn't understand how to use AI. What do you think,
I
Shehan? How
do want
many
to just say really quickly, Sarah, I love Boss Leo's idea in the chat. It was really powerful. The concept of using that lead generator. I think I want to consider that too. And thank you for bringing me in, doing what coaches do, bringing me into a singular focus in the first step. So, with that advice, I would say if I could start with creating a book outline for people, that's
Yeah.
really what helps when I help people do their books. If I can give you the specific type of book outline I do, where you only have to answer the bulleted questions. If you answer the bulleted questions with a paragraph, when you get done, you'll have a full book that will sell and people will like. So if I could
Perfect. Like
take all
lead
your writing
magnet.
and put
They can be a lead magnet. They can be paid.
100%.
So think about that. Shehan, how many people would Billy need for this? For like the entire project and also just for like a little small thing?
Uh, without the AI, no? Yes.
With AI. No, 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 with AI.
No.
With AI.
I think about 3 or 4 people.
Three full stack, correct?
Yeah, yeah,
Full time, right?
yeah,
Okay, perfect. So you're looking at three full-time with AI, and they have to work extremely hard and
yeah.
overtime sometimes. This is what happens, just so you guys know. For example, Shehan, he works extremely hard. He works overtime. He's passionate about what he does, but also in the coding, in this space, things just happen. And when things happen and you have paying customers, there are not five, but there are thousands, you have to kind of work more. So
Yeah.
if you believe that AI is going to solve that, it's not going to solve that. My team uses AI and still they have to work more. Also, they get not most of the things, but they just get the front end done from me. So now think about how much work there is. I don't believe in a world where yes, AI is going to do a lot of things for you, but still you need your customer service, still you need all the bugs that are happening in the back end. You need to figure out, so it's a whole thing. And even that, still, sometimes you have to work overtime. Great. Now, thank you, Billy. What I want to do
Oh,
right
is it over?
so, wait. We have to talk about other things. I want to talk a bit about since Jahan is in the call and he needs to live in 10 minutes. I want to talk a bit about Comfy UI, right? And if there's any questions about that, Jahan is in the call right now and he can answer and he has to leave. But essentially, how that works is that you need first to develop your Comfy UI workflow. After you develop your first Comfy UI workflow, you have to make sure that you're Dockerizing all the custom nodes. And then after you Dockerize the custom nodes, you go into services like RampPod, Modal, or any other services that allow you to host that workflow as serverless. Then you have to, at the same time, download not only the JSON file of your workflow that you've Dockerized in this case, but also you have to download the API file that you have configured from the Comfy UI. The Comfy UI usually either gives it to you, automatically generates it for you, but also you have to make sure that that is correct, and then host everything inside RampPod as a serverless worker. So I'm going to show it to you what it looks like on my end. Give me 1 second. I'm just signing in. And if you guys have any questions, we can answer those very quickly. And this is what the server looks like for me for the upscaler and for the consistent characters. That's a new feature that's going to come up. It's the workflow 4B that's going to come up in Enhancer AI. So this is what it looks like, the upscaler. This is uh, in the last day, there's been 114 images that were upscaled. In the past hour, there's been 12. And what happens is that every time that the API call is triggered, every time that someone clicks the button, I want to upscale, a worker starts running. And this worker costs. So this worker costs X amount of dollars per second. And now this is where I get my costs. And then I have to decide, what do I want my profit margin to be? And well, do I want to be safe? Do I want to be more conservative? And what's happening, the best scenarios. One image can cost more than the other. One image can be bigger than the other, which will take more time. Sometimes it will take longer as well to generate. And everything is set up here as an API. And all these APIs are set in the back end of my SaaS. So when people click that, this thing starts running and you get your final image output that the server in this case gets. Do we have any questions about that? This is a whole other thing, and again, I'm
Yeah.
not an expert in building
I
things, but Shahan and the team is.
Hi, Shiro. I have a question regarding the configuration. What configuration are you using for Enhancer? And did you compare any other solution as compared to RunPod?
No, I
for
just use Unplot. It's just because it's easier for me, and I've started
Okay.
doing it, and my team is trained on it, and I don't want to move things around.
And how much, if I may ask, how much usually it costs for all the processing you do in general? Just to
Oof.
get an idea, of a range is also
Well, it
fine.
depends. It can be, I don't know, because it really depends on what it is, like per image. Sometimes it can be 0.003 cents. Sometimes it can be 85. It really depends on what it is. It really depends on the worker, but also it depends on what GPU you're using. If you're using a very
Exactly.
fast GPU, now it's going to cost you more. It's going to be slower. Like, do you want to upgrade people into, for example, when Kling says, "Oh, you have to wait 25 minutes," they are just allocating you a GPU that's very slow. So now they're making more profit out of it, but you have to wait. Do you want to upgrade? Well, I can give you higher GPU. It's going to cost you more. You have to upgrade. That's pretty much
Got
it.
your point.
Ask any
Uh,
technical
uh,
questions that I cannot, those things I can answer. But if you have any other technical questions, Jahan can answer.
Okay. Could you share what is the configuration you're using for your pod at the moment, just to get an idea? How much RAM, how much CPUs, and so on?
Oof. I don't even know. Yeah, it's here. So I'm using 141 gigabytes of storage. I think this should be storage.
Yeah, that's storage. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure to be honest. My teams knows better than I am. Shahana, do you know the configurations for the upscaler at the moment? Because that's
Yeah,
the
wait.
biggest, yeah, that's the biggest and the most expensive server that we're running is the upscaler because it takes like 5 minutes. And now think about every second is costing 0.003 or whatever it is. 5 minutes, that's a lot of money. So it's tough, right?
Yep.
Let's see what Shahan the configurations. I don't know the configurations. He knows because he set them up. Do we have any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
So actually, it's for Shahan. I built like a cake gallery website and
What? Sorry? A what?
a cake website, and it
A cake
has like a
website?
right. And it has a gallery, and I didn't think it would be extensive gallery, but it is, and I use Cloudinary for that.
Oh yeah.
Now.
Hmm.
Now the problem I have is like obviously I have to optimize those images, and for SEO I have to rename it and rename all the tags, put all descriptions, all of that stuff. And it's a big headache because like you have to put everything into an array with the URLs. So I was just wondering, is there a better solution to that? And if we're talking around like 1,000 images.
That should be AWS S3, but I'll let Shahan answer that because that's what we just did right now. Like that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You can move to the AWS tree and CloudFront together. So when we use the CloudFront, it has the caching mechanism, so it can speed up your process as well. So, but I prefer AWS and CloudFront for data storage options. Better than the Cloudinary because we have also used Cloudinary before. Yeah, it's most costly when comparing with the AWS.
Okay, perfect. Also, another question, Suryo.
Yes.
When you use WebTwin, right, and extracted that site, I'm just wondering if you do use a PRD, and if so, does it come before
PRD.
or after?
What's a PRD?
It's like you tell it's all your features and everything you want built into the SaaS.
Okay.
Or
Oh, okay, okay,
so
got
you
it, got it,
use
got
that,
it.
right?
Well, usually before I start my SaaS, I know what my features are.
Okay,
Right? The
okay,
web twin is
right.
nothing. The web twin, all the web twin is doing is allowing you to just extract the style so you don't have to like have a headache when you start prompting. That's it.
Okay, so ideally you could use your PRD and WebTwin if you just want the
Yes,
CSS and components to
for
put.
sure.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And just maybe a recommendation. I don't know if it'll save you a little bit, but what I've done in my SaaS is I've lazy loaded a lot of components. Um, so I don't know if it'll save you on storage. It's just like, optimized, right? So.
Yeah. Look, that those are things that Shehan takes care. I have no clue what that means, but I think that we're good for now, unless we see that there's something that's out of the ordinary in terms of costs. I'll ask for you for your help because I don't know what that means. What you just said right now, I have no clue. Maybe Shehan does, but so far, I think that what we're doing is that we have moved to AWS instead of just hosting things in Cloudinary. But thank you. Any other questions? I saw some people raising hands before, which were um, Boss Leo. Boss Leo, you had a question.
Wow. There's a lot of information,
There's a lot of them. Well, look, I'm
but
not.
I
We're
got
not.
you.
Let's ask all the technicals because it's very late where Shahan is. He needs to go to sleep. He's been working very hard and he's tired. So
Yeah,
ask.
understandable. I might have to put in the chat, but a lot of it, you know that I do a lot of immersive XR stuff. The one thing when I see about these type of things when it's come to create a website is that a lot of it is very basic and static, where I like the framer type sites that's very responsive, intuitive, modern. So that initial question I had with that workflow was that, can I be able to take a website? I think I put a link in the chat of an ideal website that I
Yes,
would
you can
like to
anything.
create.
Yes, yes. As,
Yeah.
as long as like they haven't configured it in a way that just, like doesn't allow you, but you can literally download anything like as is. Like
All right. That same
Nike
style being
page, Adidas
responsive.
page, anything. As long as I don't know, they don't have any sort of security that doesn't let you. But I think that it's gonna let you for most part, like
Okay.
90%, yes.
Yeah, and then the other one part, because I am actually building an MVP, I saw in your tech flow that you're using AWS, because I was originally considering Google Cloud, I guess from a server and cloud. Do you prefer AWS? Is it more affordable for
Shahan,
early
what do
startups?
you think? Shahan, yeah. Would you rather AWS or Google? Is there any difference?
Because we're
In
bringing our gaming solution to the browser, and there's going to be a lot of user accounts, portfolios, or directory on that, on this MVP.
So, do you have any Dockerized image of your server?
I'm sorry, can you say again?
Uh, are you using any Docker image like things
Are
for
you using
this?
a Docker image, he's asking?
I don't think so. We're using Unity, WebGL, like we're deploying the game to the browser. And I just know from all the other stuff that we're doing, it's mostly on the back end. So I don't know how to really describe that as an image, but mostly 3D models or so.
Oh, he's talking about a Docker. A Docker is not like an
Yeah.
image. It's like it's a probably you wouldn't know,
Uh,
right? If I say
Oh,
Docker,
we're starting from scratch because I'm trying to get a gauge of how to build a SaaS product. So all I know is that those key components, using Unity to deploy the game and doing a lot of back end from like data.
so probably yeah, maybe they're not using Docker Shahan, or maybe they are. Like I don't know. But if
We're
they
not using anything right now.
probably they're not using Docker. No.
uh,
So what
I
would
prefer
yeah?
I prefer Google Cloud Transfer this project because you can customize your GPUs and like things, and you can use a approach also in Google
So
Cloud
go with
Transfer.
Google Cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Perfect.
thank you.
Thank you. Then I'll let Shahan go to sleep because it's like super late. What time is it there, Shahan, right now? It's like, what is it, like 10, 11, 12?
1:42 a.m.
Oh, yeah. So he needs to go to sleep, guys. So last question, Justin, if you have a question for Shahan. If anyone has
Yes.
a question for Shahan, this is your last time because then he needs to go to sleep.
I have a quick question. So just a quick, I think it's a pretty, shouldn't be too complicated SaaS idea. I have a little photo booth side hustle, a digital photo booth.
Mhm.
What I want to do is normally you just put an overlay behind the person's image, but I'd like to add an AI generated feature. So kind of make it a little more fun where once the image is outputted, then I guess create and some kind of AI, either a template background or something for it to do, just to make it more interesting for the guests. Would I do that only using? Could I do that in Comfy and then throw a SaaS on top, or how would that work?
Well, it depends on your workflow. You can do that either you can do that in Comfy or either you can do that with some sort of a Python script that is like so one way is that you use a Python script. You can use APIs from like I don't know Google. You can use APIs from OpenAI. You can use APIs from Flux, and then what you do is that you just remove the background with a Python script, and then you just place a new background that it got generated. Or what you can do is you can build an entire workflow that's going to be way more specific in Conf UI than just deploy that as your image processing in this case, which most of the tools like Magnific, probably Runway, Crea, like a bunch of them use Comfy UI.
And how would I do this to cut costs? Could I do it locally, or would it have to be in the cloud?
Everything has to be in the cloud if you're doing it API like serverless. Unless you have a like a huge server that you're hosting things. Sure, I would not know how to do that, but you have to host things as an API, serverless API, so that you can call it API and then the API does a job.
Okay. No open source solutions for that yet.
You can use open source solutions. I use open source solutions to build things. Do I productize them? Yes. Do you want to productize them? Yes. Do you want to build on top of free things? Yes. So if you're talking about the workflow, you can use open source workflows. If you're talking about the actual deployment, the actual functionality, you have to pay, like it's a cloud cost. You're gonna have to pay per API call in this case. You're not paying continuously. You're paying, if the user is paying you, then you're paying the service provider.
Okay.
Great. Okay, I'm gonna have Shahan go. Shahan, it was a pleasure, and thank you so much for being here on a Saturday. And we'll probably, if people have more questions, we'll just I'll send you like a text. But you're go to sleep. You need rest.
Yeah.
You've been working super hard.
Yeah, thank you guys. Have a nice day.
Pleasure. Okay, so now, is there any other questions that you guys have?
Yeah.
I'd just love to ask if it's all
Yeah.
right. So yeah, like I'm just wondering what's the level of complexity that led you to go and hire Shahan and a team? Like at what point did it stop being something that was in your wheelhouse and you had to
Oh,
bring
I
them on? Is
never,
it
I
service
mean, the
stuff?
only thing that I know how to do is the front end. That's it.
Right.
And I have an
So they're
idea.
taking care of all the database stuff in the back end. Like all of the back end stuff is fully them, right?
Everything is them. I just tell them what
Right.
to do. Like I would tell them, okay, I want this, I want that. Here's the pro. Again, I think that if they didn't have me to actually work on the landing pages, it would be super hard because I know exactly what I want the user to do. I want exactly where the user is going, what the user is downloading, what the interface is looking. And once I build that, now everything else is like super easy for them because that's what they do. They don't have the background design, but they have the technical design. So now if I gave them something that's design related, it's going to be super hard and I'm never going to be happy. But now I know what my product is. I just want my product to be functional.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
any one of you here can do that part. Not only me, like I'm not special. Sure, I know a bunch of things about product and I have this vision and I have a lot of like skills that make me good at what I do, using Photoshop and I don't know, like having an edge in design and product, understanding art and all of that. But you can do that too. The only thing that might be very hard for you might be this back end that I don't know how to do either. But you can find great people that can help you if you have like a budget that it's justifiable for whatever the work is and whatever your product is or your project is. Again, you need to take risks. Without risks, you're not going to go anywhere. And it is the truth is this, that if you just want to do everything yourself, you're not going to be successful. You just need to start delegating and you need to understand where you're good at. What can you bring in? And what do you need to delegate? And find people that you are going to help uh, their life better off, right? For example, Shahan, he's from Sri Lanka. And I'm paying him very well, a very good salary for Sri Lanka, but that's also, to me, that's extremely cheap for what I would pay if I hired in Canada. So
Mm.
you find business structures that help other people, but also that help yourself to start up. And then once you raise capital, you can look at maybe hiring people locally. Would you even? Not really. I'm very happy with my dev team. They work extremely hard. They're very happy. I give them bonuses all the time. I try to incentivize them. And if I'm making a difference in someone's life, that I would not be able to make if I paid someone $3,000 here. It's going to be like a regular job. But if I'm paying them 3,000, 1,000, 2,000, it's a huge difference. So I'd rather do that, but also it helps me too.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a great team like this, but mostly like for sales and marketing stuff. But I was looking really for like what were their expertise? Like when you were looking for them, is they're just Python
Well,
developers? They're like, what were they advertising?
I was just like throwing darts at a board because I had to learn things myself. It's like, what do I want these people to do? But also I trained them. They didn't know AI before. And now I require them. You have to, if you're not using AI, you're not working with me. Type of thing.
Yeah.
And you have to learn. I'll pay for whatever that you're doing. Also, they're learning new things, but it's about finding people that are good, working with them, understanding like what they want to do, understanding what their purpose is, and getting a bit more personal, so that that they can trust you. But then if they're good, you'll know. Like you literally know because they're gonna work, they're gonna wake up, they're gonna go the extra mile. They're gonna be happy. As long as they're happy, I'm happy, right? And it's not an easy question. You just need to find the right people until you find the right people, I guess.
Awesome, man. Sorry, Kevin, I feel like I cut you off there, dude. But thanks for that.
No, it was similar. I really just wanted to understand how we go about finding devs that are compatible to what we want to build.
Well, one thing is that I can help you source them.
Oh,
Um,
great. Perfect. Lovely.
Well, that's what we're here for, right? Like that's the purpose of a community. I can help you source them if you need a team. However, like it needs to be there's no jokes. Like if you need someone, you need someone. Don't come to me and like ask me for this and that. I don't have time for that. So if you really have a project going and you want to get started, then I can refer to you and then you can do your thing. Like I don't man, I cannot manage people. Like the last thing I want to do is manage an extra person. Um, the first person dot AI.
Hi.
Uh,
Uh, so I
What's
had two questions. First one was how do you validate these ideas? Like which
well,
SaaS idea you want
I have one question for you. What's your name?
to? It's Shash.
Josh.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, I keep going by different names, I guess. So that's why. Yeah, try to keep it the same. I can see me.
Got it. So your question is how do you validate what? Your ideas?
Yeah, yeah. This your SaaS ideas that you want to launch,
Bring
and the
it to
second.
market and see if you have clients.
Sorry.
Like that's the easiest way to validate your ideas. Like there's no other way. Do you think that I would know? Zero. Like I built like five things, and the only thing that's working for me very well is Enhancer. Just depends.
And what is your time to market? Like, what
Oh,
do
I
you?
want immediately. It's like I have it like to me, I wake up, I do it. I'm just gonna post something about Google VO like after this call. And I just did it. I don't I just go. I just do. I don't worry about too much about things. And if they work, they work. Like you'll know. You'll know when something has traction. But the worst
Mhm.
thing you can do is like, oh, I want to validate. Fuck that. Don't validate shit. Just put it out there, see. Does it work? Great. It doesn't. Do you believe in it? That's the most important thing. If you believe in it, then just keep going. And if you really see that there's no traction in the product, and again, it has to come. It comes down to the quality. Like what problem is your product solving? Is it good? If it's not good, and is it niche? That's the most important thing. Is it niche? Magnific, it's an app scaler that is a Conf UI workflow is making 15 million. I can replicate their workflow in a second. And it's extremely niche. It has to be niche. You have to look at things that other people are not looking. If you're going for things that other people have solved, like who would have thought that my skin texture thing, I mean, it's not doing like millions, but it's doing very well for what I thought that would be doing. Uh,
Yeah, but
and so you have to be niche.
it solves one of the biggest problem when it comes to AI image
Yeah.
generation.
But like it has to be some sort of niche that you find like can be was it you? I might be completely
Yeah,
mistaken.
voice AI.
Oh, I
Yeah,
say right? Exactly.
yeah,
So it has to be niche. It has to solve some sort of a problem that's extremely niche for a particular group of people, not for everyone. You're not. That's why you position yourself.
yeah.
You want to buy a $5 bag? Sorry, I don't offer $5 bags. Go to someone else. I only offer 500. If you don't want to buy 500, I'm not your guy. But there's other people who do this that do it way better than me for $5. Not as in way better than me the product, but they can deliver you what you want for $5. I sell $100 chocolate. You sell $2 chocolate. We're different people. We position ourselves differently. I don't want to get these clients. That's why all the time I'm like, I don't know. I do not care. That's not what I'm working. I'm not working for people that do not understand the value, but also for people that are not financially free to spend on my SaaS because it will be bad for them. For example, I had one of my students was not able to resubscribe for my community, which to them it was only $45. They didn't pay the initial fee whatsoever, and they canceled the subscription. They told me, oh well, I want to enter back, but my credit card was canceled. They gave me all the excuses, and I told them, look, I think it's best that you do not, because I don't want your $45. I want you to be safe. I want you to be financially free. And then when you have the money, then invest it into the community because you are like, if you're not making a living, that's not what you should be worried about. And I'll give it to you, the course, the community for free if you really need it, sure. But you should not, again, you should not take people that you think that they are risking a lot for your product. I don't like that. If they're risking a lot for your product, I don't like that.
Thanks.
Perfect. Do we have any other questions? I have to end it in 5 minutes. Who hasn't spoken today? Stephen, Chris, Mohammed, Wes, Audrey, Billy spoke a lot. Luca, Angel, who else? Do we have anyone? Cornelia, do you have any questions? Was this a bit too much? Did it? I mean, of course, you might have a lot of questions, but if we're good, then we're good.
I will ask. It's been a minute since I looked at the Watt platform. I'm assuming, do you have documentation or video about building a SaaS product?
We don't, this is the first video, and then we have another video where we talk a bit about like building the front end. But the WAP community is not really about SaaS, maybe, because I do see that there's a lot of people that are interested. Maybe it might be more about SaaS in the future. The community is mostly about like utilizing AI tools for marketing purposes and content creation. But maybe I'm really thinking to do a course about the SaaS. However, I'm not technical. All I can teach you is what I've learned from experience about building SaaS, marketing SaaS. Like I've spent $0, zero on any ads. Everything is organic. I can teach you about that. I can talk to you about APIs. I can talk to you about like Conf UI workflows. What I cannot talk to you about is all the back end and stuff like that that I do not understand. I don't want to pretend like I know.
No, this is great. Because at least from the front end, like we're just thinking MVP mode, right? Just getting the paid wait list and getting people signed up, right? Before we can go really crazy on things, because I'm a one team person
Yeah.
at this moment. So
Although
whatever.
I was one person, like
Yeah, so that's where
weeks
I
ago,
would
so
love to have a team, but I'm literally a one team person and I'm like product
no, do your
manager
thing
and all
first.
of it.
Your thing first. Resources. The resources are affordable, are very affordable. But
Mm.
I would recommend again, like, uh, see what you want to do first, and for the sake of like, what is the project? And I would not like to hire resources if I'm not at least giving them security. So what I do with my team is at least I want to keep them for 6 months, at least a year, because you're hiring them from like a third world country in this case, and I want to make sure that they're secure. I want to make sure that they feel good. So I have to budget myself. Like I don't want to let other people down. I don't want to like take other people's opportunities. Like maybe they could have found a better job. Maybe they could have built like Shahan could build this himself, right? So I'm taking away this opportunity for him to build things for himself. So I want to at the same time think about who I'm hiring and for how long I'm hiring them for. It has to be long
Mhm.
term. So if you're looking for contracts, sure, that's going to be a different story. But if you want a team, this needs to be like a decision that you have to sleep on and think, because you need to manage them too. Do you think it's easy to manage people? That's the biggest, the most time consuming is like you managing people. It's not the ideas.
Yeah, I worked in corporate as a software project manager
I haven't. I
before.
don't know.
So but this was helpful to kind of understand, like the advice you gave earlier, just focus on one feature. I think
Oh yeah,
for something like
that I
this,
can talk
yeah.
for hours. I can talk for hours about
That is
strategy.
helpful for me because I was literally about to go in the deep end trying to figure out how I can build three types
Oh
of
no no
user
no no.
flows.
But also, how are you gonna, the longevity of your SaaS is gonna be what? If you just release all the features at the same time, like how are you growing? How are you retaining your clients? It has to be
Okay.
every month you build something new. So now they're like, oh, for $9, I get this and this and this and this and that. But also they forget that for that $9, now they have to pay more and now their credits expire quicker, right? So the more features you add, the more money you make because now they're utilizing all the features and they need to upgrade into another tier. But again, it needs one feature, and then you keep adding, and then you keep adding. And sometimes, like, I have to pressure my teams, like, we have to add this today. Something happens in the AI space, I need to leverage this. But yeah, I can talk about it like SaaS strategy all day. I just cannot tell you or lie to you that I know about Node.js or MongoDB or Firebase or things like that. I might know what they are and what they do, but I don't know how to set things up. That's why you have a team.
Okay. Do you have a link to your to that link you shared earlier with Cursor? And what's the name of the video that you said
Uh,
about the front end?
Oh, it's in the coaching calls. It should be how to build
Okay.
your first SaaS. I don't remember. It's in
Okay.
recordings. You're gonna see it. You'll know when you'll see it.
And
It
for
was a bit of a
Cursor,
yeah.
can we get that
It's
link again?
yeah, but you're gonna watch this thing again, and then you're gonna get familiar with
Okay.
with. I think this was a better explanation than I did last time because last time we were using different tools.
Okay.
Uh, Vortex Vision Marketing. Your
Yes.
name?
Brandon.
Brendan.
Sorry, this is my business account. I didn't expect to join out from my computer. Okay.
We know
One
you,
other
Brandon.
thing.
What's up?
What's up? What's up? Yeah. So,
Billy.
in terms of your API, right? Are you using like the direct APIs, or are you using platforms like Nebius or Rapid API, which
No. Direct
they
API.
give
We
you
build the
multiple
API
points?
directly. No. We
Oh,
build the
directly?
API.
Okay.
Build the API ourselves. We build it. I mean,
Oh, okay.
we download the API from ComfyUI. And then after
Yeah.
we download it, we set it up so that we get an API from the ROM pod. So that's our API
Okay.
of our
Okay.
server. So it's an API of the server, and the server has been connected to a Docker file which contains the ComfyUI workflow with custom nodes.
Right.
Audrey.
Okay.
Hey everybody, how's my audio? Is it fine?
Good. You're good.
Hey, how's everybody doing? I just wanted to offer kind of my advice as I've kind of built a couple of SaaSes, and it seems like a lot of people within the group are more so non-technical founders. One of the, I think, most important things when you're thinking about building out a SaaS, that would be a really good practice, is one of the first things you should do is to go to one of these LLMs, preferably Claude, which is really good with things like a PRD, but develop what's called a PRD. It stands for Product Requirements Document, and give the LLM or the chat what it is that you're trying to build. Tell it, what a high level vision of the SaaS looks like, and ask for it to give you a PRD document, and it will spit out literally the preferred tech stack, give you literally everything that you need for the SaaS, and then kind of just reverse engineer, go into a no code tool, preferably, Cursor, to try and build out an MVP. But I think that a PRD is super important. So you're not spending a lot of back and forth time and wasting tokens, and you already know what it is that you need. Now you're just utilizing tools to kind of execute on all of the information that you have for that SaaS. So I just wanted to offer up that advice if you
Very
are a
valuable.
non-technical founder.
That's
Come
very
on,
valuable.
Audrey. You always coming with the heat. You don't
He
talk every
does.
time, but when you come, she be like,
He
"Yeah, I got a
does.
triple threat business. I love it, girl. Yeah."
You're
He does.
funny.
I may be
Um,
funny, but I ain't a liar, girl, and you know that's the truth.
I love it.
yeah, that's extremely valuable, but also something that again, I do believe that a lot of people here have ideas, and of course, I take things for granted because I think that you guys probably do this in your day to day. But yes, use LLMs, use ChatGPT, use anything to just to go through and validate if you want to validate your idea, if it's a good fit, or where you could focus at, or what could your features be, or what can your MVP be, or what can your pricing be. I use ChatGPT for my pricing, believe it or not. Like, I have ChatGPT give me the pricing, give me the profit, give me the costs, tell me everything. I screenshot it and give it to Shahan. Do I do the pricing myself? No. Have I ever priced anything in my life before? No. Right? And I just go and I tell, okay, this is how many users I have. Is this what can be my top up feature? How can I make sure that my users upgrade from this to that? What can I limit? What can I put under a paywall? Like all these things, I don't do it myself. I have the help of ChatGPT in this case. I use Chat just because it's convenient for me, not because it's better than anything else. Yes, Mr. Billy.
Ooh, I got a superlative. Come on, mister. I just want to spotlight, as you have given me the role so kindly of community ambassador. I would take that very seriously. And we had an opportunity to meet Audrey and see her amazing things. And then we had an opportunity to see Cornelia's amazing things. Then we had an opportunity to see Kevin's amazing things. I want to spotlight this person who tried to sneak in here, but their website is amazing. Can we have Zach come off of mute and tell us a little bit about what he does? I think
I do it.
we would all benefit from it. His
Go
website's
ahead.
awesome. His portfolio's awesome. It looks like a Santorini boat. Come on, tell us about it. Tell us about what you do, Zach.
I'm just a lowly state trooper, man, on my way off to the YMCA. No, mostly I do marketing, and I create like story-driven, engaging films for different companies and things, mostly like in the medical space. I work with like luxury rehabs, and I make for them like different videos and things. So honestly, like the SaaS thing, there's a couple of things that I'm working on with a friend, but it wasn't like my main driver for joining the network, to be honest. It was more just because Sirio made a couple of amazing videos that were just quite different to everything else everyone was doing. Like he was eating Pringles at one point. I don't know. It was just like quite entertaining. And then also because you built Enhancer as well, I just thought I really wanted to join. And I'm kind of glad I did. This has been bonkers. I mean, really interesting.
We do a lot of things here. We do a lot of things here. And
I
again,
can see that. Yeah.
It's because I have not only because of me that I have different skill sets. That's one factor, but I think the community also. There's Audrey's amazing. Like there's a lot of people in here that I was like, oh wow. And Kevin and Luca, which is not even here. I've reviewed all your submissions for Kim Kardashian's surgeon, and they're Billy. I have to meet you, but they're amazing. And Luca's not here, but I want to highlight his work. His work has been phenomenal. I want to show you guys what he has created with that, and it's like this is the best thing that could ever happen because I have a lot of yeah, we'll do it soon because I have to go through all the revisions and spotlight you guys and show everyone the work that you've been doing. But there's a lot of people that come to my DMs that ask for help, and then I just had another person that goes, "Hey, I need help with content creation. I'm an AI agency," and I think that this group has top tier AI content creators for anything that you can possibly think of. So congrats to you guys, first of all, for doing the work and for being exceptional at it. So Zach, we do a bunch of things here. We talk about a bunch of things. So we try and keep these meetings categorized based on whatever you want to talk about, which is most important, and also what I want to talk about.
No, it's
But yeah,
cool.
we haven't to that point.
To meet everybody.
To that point, we don't know the schedule for next for the coming month. So if you guys have any questions, if you want to talk about anything, if you just want to do a quick Q&A, if you just want to know my tech stack, if you just want to hang out and an informal meeting, I would like that to come from you. And I always, as always, I suggest topics for us to cover.
You should just let us all just swarm opportunities, and you can call us Sirio's Angels, like Charlie's Angels, but like better.
Sure. Well, I do have quite a few. So let's see what's going to happen with the ones that I've posted so far, and I'll keep you guys updated. Sounds good?
Great.
It does. By the way, I put Zach's website in the chat in case you want to look it up. I see some really amazing synergies between Zach and Audrey specifically.
You found my website?
Yeah, your website is in the chat now. I found it and I put it on here. That's the reason I called you. I didn't call you because of your mustache.
There's my site. Everybody go take a look.
I know. I don't know what y'all thought. I did not call him because of his mustache. I called him because I saw his name and looked it up and found his website. His mustache is.
I looked up your wesite too, man. I've been looking at you.
No, please don't look at my website. It's a mess.
Yeah,
WordPress is crazy.
A pleasure.
Sharp dressed man.
It's been a pleasure. I'll have to go right now, but let me just pause this recording. This is going to be available to you did I record this? I think I did. Yes, I did. This is going to be